Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Bloomington online stewardship and automatic payment management video. This is John Summerlot, and over the course of the next couple of minutes, I'm going to briefly walk you through the easy ways to manage and review your pledge payments to the church using the features already in the church database. To begin with, first you need to go to the church homepage, uubloomington.org. I will be navigating this using screenshots taken from my iPad, so you may notice some slight differences in how they appear, but overall this should get you through everything that you need in order to access the database and look at the information. Next, we're going to click on the Members and Friends Database Login. That's this button right over here on this side. That will bring you to this page. Once you get to this page, you'll notice you need your user ID and your password. If you're like me and you only log into the database once or twice a year, you'll find that you have to use the Retrieve User ID or Password option a fair amount more than you feel like you really should. But for some reason, I can't remember my user ID pretty regularly. If you do remember them, go ahead and put them in, put in your password, and go ahead and click the Login button. If you don't, just pause this video, hit the click here button and retrieve your information, and then come back to this part in the video. Once you've logged in with your username and password, you'll find yourself at this screen. And there are two primary features that we're going to use off of this screen. We're going to use the Stewardship button and we're going to use the e-Giving button. First, we're going to talk about the Stewardship button, and this will give you the opportunity to pull up your past pledge payments and where you stand with those. To begin with, we're going to click on the Stewardship button. That's this one right here. Before I do that though, and before we go to the next screen, I will point out that as we go through, you'll see some areas that have been blacked out on the slides. This is because it contains personal information or information that, since this video is going to be public, just doesn't really need to be out there. So if you see parts that are blacked out, don't be alarmed. That was intentional. Once you've clicked on Stewardship, this page should pop up. When you do so, it may actually show up with the time area or the talent area. You want to go to the treasure area. This is the one that you want to click on to make sure that you get to this page. And then you will see a whole series of all of the pledge amounts that you have made over the course of your time while you've been a member here. They should be in the database. Even if you didn't enter them before in the database, they should be in the database for the most part. And you'll be able to look back on that and see how much you have pledged in the past. And just as an example, I'm going to click on one of the detail buttons here to give you an idea of what you will see if you wanted to look back on that year and see what sort of transactions occurred. When you click on that details button, this page will pop up. Now this is kind of an unnecessary sort of page because it's just going to tell you this basic information. But if you click on this details button again, which is a little weird, you have to click on the details button twice. But if you click on the details button again, it's going to bring you to a better page, and probably the page more like what you were expecting. Now, as you can see in this listing, you can see all of my contributions to the Green Spaces Capital Campaign, as well as pledges that came during the last calendar year. So this is everything that happened within the year 2013. And so you can see the whole listing here. Additionally, as you can see, I have an automatic payment set up that consistently takes it out on the first of the month. I've set these up as automatic payments. I do a number of my bills I pay a number of my bills online or set them up with regular payments. And so this is just one of them. And you can see here that it is noted here. And underneath this blacked out part is the amounts and the dates that they were given. You may also notice that one of these dates is not like the other, and I will actually talk about that in a minute. that when you first set up your payment online, it will take it out on that day, and then whatever day after that you tell it you want it to take out. So I can look back on this and see that the day I went in and set this up was actually on the 8th of July that I set this up, and then after that it began taking it out on the 1st after that. So that was when I actually started my online pledge for the year. So now let's get to the meat and potatoes of what we're here for. How do you set it up to do this for you? So next, we're going to click on the left side over here on this e-giving link, and we're going to click on that to get to our next page. When I get to the e-giving page, it's going to start off by asking me how I would like to give, either via credit card or debit card or via electronic check. You can do it either way. Choose which one you would like to start off with, and then click the Submit button. That will bring you to this page. Now this page is a fairly standard online credit card information sort of page. You will go through and fill out your name and your billing address and your card number, your expiration date, and then you can choose if this is a family or individual contribution or pledge. It'll send a receipt to your email. But more importantly, we're going to scroll down just a little bit to another area just below this. So once you scroll down, you will find that you have the option of checking this box in order to find out about how to make this a reoccurring gift. Now, as I mentioned before, the initial gift is processed immediately. So right now when I'm making this video in March. But if I want to set this up for next year's stewardship fund, I need to come back in July. And early in July or late in June, I need to set this up for the next stewardship year. And the reason being, because otherwise this is going to start processing immediately and start taking out those monthly or weekly or bi-weekly payments right away. Now I can also use this to finish out my payments for the year. So if you're thinking, gee, it'd be nice if I could finish out this year, you can do that as well. So say your normal payment is $100. You would put that in there, and then you would say that you want it taken out monthly for how many ever months are left. Right now we have about 4 months that are left. So we would put a 4 in there. And then we would choose either the 1st or 15th of the month. And then once we do that, it will actually show us the first day and the last day that payments will be processed on. You can't change these once they're in there, but it will show you the days so that you know that you set it up the way that you want it to be set up. And so I'm going to give you an example, a little bit more information here to show you. As I mentioned before, you can set this up to be monthly, quarterly, bi-weekly, annually, semi-annually. You can set this up to do that for you quite easily. And you can, that way you don't have to remember when to make your payments, when to do any of that. And again, it will each time show you your second payment and your last payment, because you know your first payment is going to be processed the day that you do this. Your second and last payments will show up on there. And you can use this to help you plan, make sure you've got it correct, but also to help you remember when these payments are going in. Once you've done that, you've got your information entered, you've got everything set up to go. All you have to do is hit process on it. And once it's set up and once it starts going, you'll be able to go back to your stewardship page and look and see when your payments have gone in, how much they've been for, and how many you have left. That's really all there is to it. It's fairly simple to set up. Once you do, it's self-maintaining. As I said before, I pretty infrequently check mine. I notice the money is gone out of my account at the beginning of the month along with the rest of my bills. But I don't log into the database on a regular basis to check on it because it works pretty steadily, and I've been using it for a couple of years now without any problems or issues. So it is a really good way, especially if you want to make things easier for you to remember to make your payments, Or if you want to just make it simpler because you're somebody who doesn't use a lot of checks or doesn't remember to bring their checkbook places with them, this is a simple way to do it. Whether you're doing a one-time payment online each month and you're going online to do it then, or you set it up as a reoccurring payment that automatically happens. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call or stop me in church one day. If you need my email address, you will notice that it is conveniently right here on the screen for you. And I'm more than happy to help you through this if you would like some help in setting it up. Thank you and have a good day.